Hey, what's up, everybody? It's that time of the year again where the Island Frequent Flyers tells us what the best movies of the year are. So we're going to check this list out. Now, I have seen this list twice now because I have tried to record this video twice. The first time the power went out midway through, and last time apparently none of the audio recorded. So hopefully, third time's the charm. We are going to take a look at the Academy Award nominations, the Oscar nominations for 2024. And I'm annoyed because I had a pretty good reaction last time that we'll fake it, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. I want to talk about these movies ahead of time. I guess forewarning, I haven't watched all of these movies yet. I haven't seen very many of them yet. So a lot of them will be added to my watch list. But you can bet your sweet bippy that I'll watch as many of these movies as possible before the Oscars, because I will be streaming my live reaction to the Oscars on Twitch. So if you want to watch that, you can follow me on Twitch, turn on the bell notification, be notified anytime I go live. There's a link in the description. But I will be doing a watch along to the Oscars when the Oscars is Oscaring around. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. So for the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award, it goes to Michelle Satter. I think I'm saying that right. Honorary award goes to Angela Bassett, Carol Littleton, and Mel Brooks. For Best International Feature, I've not seen any of these yet. Io Capitone, I don't know how you say that. Perfect Days, Society of Snow, which is available on Netflix. The Teacher's Lounge, and Zone of Interest. I don't think Teacher's Lounge, yeah. For me personally, I think Godland is missing. Godland was a pretty good film, Danish or Icelandic. It depends on, if you're a glass half full or half full kind of guy. But yeah, out of these, I haven't seen any of these yet. I really want to see all of these, though, especially Zone of Interest and Teacher's Lounge and Society and Snow. Best documentary short, Island in Between Nai and Wapo. I don't know if I'm saying right. The ABC's Banning Books, The Barber of Little Rock, and The Last Repair Shop. I believe the only one that's available for streaming right now is the ABC's A Book Banning, which is on Paramount Plus, right? Yep, Paramount Plus. I thought one of these other ones was on like Hulu. Yeah, okay, The Last Repair Shop's on Hulu. The best live action short film, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, Blue, The After, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. The After and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar are both on Netflix. I did a review of Wes Anderson and all of his Roald Dahl films. So if you want to check that out, feel free to check that out. It's the only one I've seen, and probably the one I'm going to root for because I love Wes Anderson, and I really enjoyed The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Best animated short film, Letter to Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Pachyderm, maybe? War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. None of these I don't think are available for streaming quite yet. Best animated feature, Elemental, Pneumonia, Robot Dreams, I don't know if I'm saying Nimona right, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and The Boy and the Heron. Mona is on Netflix. Robot Dreams and The Boy and the Heron, I really hope, and Nimona. I've only seen Elemental and Spider-Verse. There's a huge missing snub here, in my opinion, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Should 100% be in this list. Get rid of Elemental, throw that in here, because just the animation alone in TMNT Mutant Mayhem is so good, but the film itself is great. It's really annoying that was snubbed, because I think that's the best, and to me, that's the best animated feature I've seen so far this year. Although, like I said, I haven't seen these three, but it would be the one to beat in my opinion. I liked it better than Spider-Verse. I liked it a hell of a lot more than Elemental, so yeah, TMNT should have been in here. Best documentary feature, 20 Days in Mariupol, Bob Wine, The People's President, The Eternal Memory, Four Daughters, and To Kill a Tiger. I believe the only one that's for free streaming right now, I guess none are free streaming if you have to pay for them, right? The Eternal Memory is on Paramount Plus. 20 Days, I think, is just to rent on Amazon. Bob Wine, The People's President, I don't think is available yet. Four Daughters, was you on a streaming service? You can rent on Amazon. And To Kill a Tiger, I don't think was on anything quite yet. Yeah, the best achievement in visual effects, Godzilla Minus One, Guardians Volume 3, Napoleon, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and The Creator. I've seen all these but Mission Impossible, The Reckoning. To me, personally, I think The Creator probably has the best visual effects here, even though it's probably my least favorite of the movies nominated here. Napoleon has some spots of pretty bad CGI. The Guardians is pretty decent. But I gotta say, like, for me personally, I do think The Creator probably has the best visual effects. And while I do think Godzilla Minus One has some moments of pretty bad CGI, you got to give credit to Godzilla Minus One for its budget. It had probably the smallest budget of any of these movies. And there's a lot of moments where the CGI is really good. Like really good, especially considering the budget. While there are definitely some shaky moments, for the most part, the CGI is really good. So for me personally, it's also my favorite movie of this bunch here. I would want to see Godzilla win, but I figure maybe the creator will win. Best achievement in music written for motion pictures original song, American Symphony, which is on Netflix, Flaming Hot, which is on Hulu. I haven't seen either of these yet. Barbie, you have What Was I Made For, and Barbie, I'm Just Ken. I personally want I'm Just Ken to win. And you also have Killers of the Flower Moon, A Song of My People, that I really don't remember off the top of my head. So for me, I want I'm Just Ken to win because I think that song's funny and it's enjoyable, although I haven't heard either of these two yet. Best achievement in music written for motion pictures original score, American Fiction, Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. I haven't seen American Fiction yet or Indiana Jones. I have a strong feeling Indiana Jones is just going to be more Indiana Jones music. Like, while Indiana Jones music is good, I don't feel like there's going to be much originality or creativity here, but I could be wrong. Killers of the Flower Moon is pretty good. It's a pretty good like bluesy soundtrack, but it doesn't really, or twangy soundtrack too. But it doesn't really let you breathe. And then you have Oppenheimer and Poor Things. I think both of these soundtracks are really good. I personally kind of like Oppenheimer's soundtrack more than Poor Things, but I would be content with either of these winning. I don't really have too much of a dog in this race because I don't think there's been one score this year that's really stood out to me as like phenomenal. That's on this list anyway. I could be wrong though. Best achievement in makeup and hairstyling, Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society in Snow. I've only seen Oppenheimer and Poor Things. I would give it to Poor Things. I think some of the makeup and hairstyling in this movie is fantastic. Not only Emma Stone's hair throughout the movie, but also like Willem Dafoe's characters. Makeup is phenomenal. So I would give it to Poor Things over Oppenheimer. And I haven't seen the other three. So the other three might really surprise me. I don't know yet. Maestro being on Netflix, same thing with Society in Snow, and then Golda, I think you have to rent. I think it's only available. Okay, it's on Showtime if you have Showtime. Best sound, Maestro, Mission Impossible, The Creator, Oppenheimer, and Zone of Interest. I really don't have much of a dog in this fight because I haven't seen most of these movies yet. Out of the movies I have seen, I would probably go toward Oppenheimer because Oppenheimer has some really great, like, intense moments in its sound design. So I would probably give it to Oppenheimer, but I haven't seen some of the other ones yet. Best achievement in costume design, we have Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Napoleon, and Poor Things. I think, to me, it's between these three, Barbie, Napoleon, and Poor Things. Barbie having some really great costumes for the world and the aesthetic is trying to build. Napoleon has probably some of the most lavish in terms of not only like the queen and king like dress and gown and stuff, but also there's a ton of bodies on screen and all the costumes look good. There are some great war like costumes. Napoleon himself just looked great throughout the entire movie. Same thing with Vanessa Kirby. Her costumes and stuff all look great. Like there's some really impressive costume design in this film. So yeah, to me, I like Napoleon a lot. I think Poor Things probably has the most original in terms of costume design, with a lot of like Bella's dresses, but also like a lot of the designs, even like, you know, Mark Ruffalo's character, the other dresses in the film. Like there's a lot of really great costume design in Poor Things. I'd be happy with any of these three winning, probably leaning a little bit more into, I don't know, any of these three I'd be happy with. Production design is the exact same thing. It's the exact same nominations. For production, I think I lean more hard into either Barbie or Poor Things. Poor Things, again, having a lot of original production designs, a little bit more variety than what Barbie presented. But Barbie's like Dreamland is also just really well designed, a lot of fun. Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Killers of the Flower Moon are all good in their production design. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to like the actual production, like I kind of lean a little bit more toward Poor Things and Barbie. Best achievement in film editing, Anatomy of Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, and The Holdovers. I haven't seen Anatomy of Fall yet, but I would lean toward Oppenheimer as my pick. I think Killers of the Flower Moon and Poor Thing both have some pacing issues, because to me there's both some fat on the bone that could have been trimmed out to help the pacing and the narrative flow a little bit better. Oppenheimer, I think, for a 3-hour movie is impeccably edited to flow by very quickly, very fast-paced movie, but also it uses its editing to kind of amplify the story. Even if the film does have a lot of reverse shot and cutting on some of those dialogue scenes on the dialogue, which is kind of frustrating, but there's so much more in this film when it comes to editing that I think works really well. It pieces together a non-linear story very well to kind of give you different pieces of time very cohesively, but also, like I said, the way it kind of edits those more high intensity scenes are fantastic. It kind of edits in its own I don't know if paranoia is the right word, but maybe paranoia into the film as well. It's really, really well done. And The Holdovers is like one of those editing films where it's like the editing is really good, but you just don't notice it kind of thing. So my pick for here is Oppenheimer, but I haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall yet. Best achievement in cinematography, couple snubs here. The Iron Claw, Godland were a couple snubs. I feel like I'm missing something else that I think was a snub. Saltburn was snubbed for Oscar for best cinematography, me personally. I haven't seen El Conde or Maestro yet. Killers of the Flower Moon cinematography is good. Same thing with Oppenheimer, but I don't think either of these deserve to be here over Saltburn or the Iron Claw or Godland for that particular instance. I think Godland cinematography is amazing. Poor Things is probably my pick here out of what's here. I think visually, the visuals is probably the best part of Poor Things in my opinion. And for me personally, I think the cinematography in Poor Things is really, really good. I'm very excited to see the Zone of Interest as cinematography because Lucas Zale is the cinematographer. I think I'm saying his name right. Who is also did the cinematography on Ida and I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Really great cinematographer. So I'm very excited to see the Zone of Interest for that. But yeah, Poor Things cinematography is really, really good too. But I haven't seen these two yet. Best adapted screenplay, The Iron Claw isn't here. Blackberry isn't here. Blackberry took a story that I had zero interest in and made it interesting. But we have American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. I have only seen these three. I haven't seen American Fiction or Zone of Interest yet. I really want to. Out of what's here, probably Barbie, considering what they turned Barbie into is really impressive. What they had to work with versus what they got out of it. But yeah, Blackberry, I feel like should have been in this list because it really did take a story I couldn't care less about and turn it into something really interesting. And then I think The Iron Claw, after looking even more into the Von Erichs, did a really good job of converting that story into a really good film. Best original screenplay, Anatomy of a Fall, Maestro, Past Life, May, December, and The Holdovers. I've only seen The Holdovers out of this bunch, so I'm going to say The Holdovers, May, December, and Maestro both being on Netflix. I think Past Lives look really good, so I don't really have too much of a dog in this fight yet, but I do think The Holdovers script is really good, kind of a classic feeling movie to it. Best achievement in directing, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer, Jonathan Glacier, The Zone of Interest, Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall, I hope I'm saying that right, Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things. Me personally, a personal biases would be Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, but also out of this list here, I haven't seen Zone of Interest, Anatomy of a Fall yet. I don't think Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer should be here necessarily. I think there's somebody else who should be here. Like, let me look at my list of films here. I guess I really don't have like a bunch. I guess Sean Durkin for Iron Claw could have been really good. Emerald for Saltburn. I think it's what her name is, right? What's her name again? Emerald Fennell could have been here for Saltburn for me personally in terms of directing. But yeah, not as much as I'd liked Oppenheimer as a movie, and I do like Nolan as a director, it's kind of annoying that he was kind of so lazy in his dialogue scenes to just do shot reverse shot. And the changing aspect ratios is constantly annoying. Just shoot the entire film in IMAX or just shoot it in one film. Like in like one camera. I don't know. Regardless though, it's just a Nolanism. Jonathan Glacier I like a lot as a director. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen these two yet, but I'm leaning toward just Martin Scorsese for personal biases. I would love to see him get another Oscar at the tail end of his career. Best performances by an actress in a supporting role. You got American Ferrera and Barbie, Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers, Danielle Brooks in The Color of Purple, which is annoying because I did not want to watch this movie, but now I have to because it's nominated for an Oscar. Which means I need to watch the first movie because I've seen pieces of it and I've had zero interest in watching it. But now I'm going to watch it because the remake was nominated for an Oscar. So, yay! I'll watch 5 hours of The Color of Purple. Cool. Emily Blunt Oppenheimer and Jodie Foster in Naiad. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's on Netflix. I will be adding it to my watch list to watch. Out of what I have seen here, I personally liked Divine Joy Randolph the most for Holdovers. I loved her character. I loved her performance of the character. I thought it was really good. Emily Blunt, I also thought was incredibly good in Oppenheimer. She's kind of like a catalyst character in the movie in a way. But yeah, I thought she was really impressive in Oppenheimer. Really liked Emily Blunt's character in Oppenheimer. But for me personally, I really liked Joy Randolph the most in The Holdovers. I thought her character was great. I thought her performance was great. She was consistent throughout the entire movie. And she was a divine joy to watch on screen. Anyway, best performance by an actor in a supporting role. Mark Ruffalo, Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr. Okay, Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling, Barbie, and Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction. I haven't seen American Fiction yet, but I do like Sterling K. Brown as an actor, so I am excited to see that. This is a stacked list. I really don't have much opinion here on who wins because I would be happy with anybody winning. I think Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things might be his best performance that I've seen from him. Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon is excellent. Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer, you don't even know it's Robert Downey Jr. He is phenomenal in Oppenheimer. And Ryan Gosling steals Barbie. He really does steal the entire show. He steals it away from Margot Robbie. Personally, that's my personal opinion. I also like Ryan Gosling the most in terms of like actor-wise here, so I would love to see him win an Oscar finally. So my personal pick is Ryan Gosling, but I would be happy with anybody because this is a stacked list. Everybody here deserves it. Maybe not you, but I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to say probably. He's a good actor. But yeah, everybody else deserves it. Best actress in a leading role, Annette Bening, I don't know how you say that, for Naiad, Carey Mulligan, Maestro, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, Emma Stone, Poor Things, and Sandra Hüller, Anatomy of a Fall. I haven't seen 3 of these movies yet, so I've only seen Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone. I think Emma Stone is probably the obvious choice for best performance. Her performance in Poor Things is incredible. Lily Gladstone, though, is really good in Killers of the Flower Moon. I really like Lily Gladstone. I don't think her performance is quite as good as Emma Stone's, but I would be happy with either of these two winning. I haven't seen these 3 yet, so I will get back to you on that one. Best performance in a leading role, Bradley Cooper, Maestro, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, Cole Domingo, and Rustin, which is a film I haven't heard of before. It's on Netflix. I just recently watched a movie of Coleman Domingo. I hope I'm saying that right. In a movie called Zola, where he played a pimp. So yeah, I'm interested in checking this out. I'll add it to my watch list. Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction I haven't seen yet, and Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers. I'm between Cillian Murphy and Paul Giamatti. I think both of these performances are fantastic. I think they're both absolutely stunning performances. I would be happy with either of them winning. I have a really hard time choosing between the two. I do think snubbed here is Zac Efron for The Iron Claw and Barry Keoghan for Saltburn. Personally, I think both of their performances are insanely great. So yeah, kind of in between these two currently. Then Best Picture, we have American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Holdovers, and The Zone of Interest. And I haven't seen half of these. I've seen half of these. I haven't seen American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Maestro, Past Lives, or Zone of Interest. I have seen The Holdovers, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Anatomy of a Fall. My personal favorite out of this bunch here is either Killers of the Flower Moon or The Holdovers. I feel like Oppenheimer or Poor Things will probably win it. I personally think The Iron Claw was snubbed.
here for a Best Picture. The same thing with Saltburn, but definitely the Iron Claw. I feel like the Iron Claw should have definitely had a Best Picture nomination here. But yeah, for me, I'm between either The Holdovers or Oppenheimer for right now. I'm very excited to watch the films I haven't watched yet. But yeah, for snubs, I think the Iron Claw, Saltburn, Blackberry, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were all big snubs, especially Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for a Best Animated Feature. I think is ridiculous that it wasn't nominated, especially getting Elemental nominated over it is kind of like, seriously? Like, that movie's so mid at best. But yeah, so I definitely have some films to be sitting down and watching. I will try to watch every single one of these before the Oscars. I don't have a lot of time to do so, so I better get on it. But yeah, if you want to watch me watch the Oscars, if you want to watch the Oscars with me, you can follow me on twitch.tv/themix/. There'll be a link in the description down below. Follow me over there and follow me there for other gaming stuff. Yeah, I think the 2024 Oscar noms, I think there's some good nominations here. There's some movies I'm really excited to watch. Obviously, I think there's some obvious snubs personally, but that's just me. But for the most part, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good nominations for the most part. But yeah, so that's the Oscar noms for 2024. We'll see what wins. I have a feeling Poor Things is going to win a bunch. Kind of deservedly. It has a lot of good things going for it. I know I wasn't as warm on the movie as some other people are, but, you know, I gave it a 6 out of 10. I did like it. I will watch it again eventually, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll watch more of these movies and get back to you, but yeah, if you want to follow me for when I do more of these movie reviews, you can press that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification, be notified anytime I upload videos. If you want to support the channel, you can also consider becoming a Patreon or a channel member. There are links in the description for both of those, and I will catch you in the next one.
Cookie dough bites. Another one that was on the list, but when we were shopping for these candies for this video, I was like, we got to do cookie dough bites, right? Like, I mean, they're at every movie theater I've ever been to. But that should say something that they're not very silly. What? Oh, you want some? Again, we're talking about loud in a theater. It's a bag within a box. Here you go. I'm done. I'm done. How do you up cookie dough? It's cookie dough. What is this? I am not kidding. Every movie theater I've been to, I see these like for there, and for them not to be on the top 20 list, I was surprised because I was like, I see these everywhere I go. Every movie theater I go to, they have these cookie dough bites. Well, now I know why. These are terrible. These are terrible. What even is that? Oh my God. You know what it is? The chocolate's, out of the chocolate we have up here, the chocolate itself is the worst chocolate. It's the most chemically tasting, terrible chocolate. But then you get into that cookie dough, that is the biggest offender. Because that cookie dough is basically like clumped up flour that's set adjacent to cookie dough that they're claiming is cookie dough. Dude, those, I'm sad now. I don't know if I've ever actually had this before, but I feel like I have. Try them frozen. Try them in the trash can. It's probably better than Sugar Babies. It's definitely not better than Lemon Head. Although I was not a fan of Lemon Head, I would probably rather have Lemon Head than that again. Yeah. I was kind of excited for that one too. That one, I'm kind of upset now.